Hello everybody! We got hit with a new exotic weapon and mission a couple weeks ago as Strand Bow, the WishKeeper, and I'm about to show you how to suspend everything and everyone with this build, immobilizing all your enemies and killing them with haste. My name is Tony Pablo TP and I make Destiny 2 builds and videos now twice a week. While you're here, hit the subscribe button and get us to 1,000 subscribers so I can start live streaming for you guys. But anyways, this WishKeeper Strand build excels in Legend Lost Sectors, Nightfalls, and most PvE scenarios. I run solo content a lot, and this is one of my new Strand builds. This season is so important to the solo subclass in Strand and Stasis weapons, and with this build focused on Strand, it could extremely help you onto becoming legendary. I just made a Solar Hunter build in my previous video, and if you're looking for Stasis as well, both links will be down below. And comment on which subclass I should do next. And if you have a recommendation on how to make this build even better than it is, you are more than welcome to comment it down below as well. And for more videos like this, subscribing and leaving a like would mean a lot to a starting creator like me. We hit 300 subscribers off the last video, and I like to say thank you guys so very much. I appreciate all of you guys who watch and subscribe. You're supporting me and my dream. Thank you. But with all that out of the way, let's get into the video. This Strand Hunter has one super, called Silk Strike. Light attacks swing at one target, defeating a target makes them explode. Heavy attacks clears targets around you in a radius, and it grants you a grapple regardless of the grenade you equip for more movement with the super. Aspects to run with this build is Widow Silk. You have an additional grenade charge. For this build, equipping shackle grenades, suspending targets is more important to deal extra damage and immobilizing them from attacking you. Good thing about shackles is that it doesn't just suspend one, it creates additional suspending projectiles in a radius, able to suspend up to 4 targets. Moving on to the second aspect, equipping Ensnaring Slam. Activate your air move to consume your dodge energy and dive to the ground, suspending all nearby targets on impact. Using this ability extends class ability cooldown time. This is another way for more suspensions on this build. For your dodge, equip Gambler's Dodge, so when you dodge near enemies, you'll replenish your melee ability. Your melee is Threaded Spike. Throw a rope dart that bounces between targets, damaging and severing them. The dart will return to you once it's done, returning melee energy for you for each target hit. You can actually catch the dart once it's close enough. Click the melee button again and it will increase the amount of energy return. Making targets receive a debuff like Sever and Suspend is very important in this build, so much that the exotic will give us extra damage on top of the debuff. This season is really important to Strand weapons and granting unraveling rounds. Unraveling, severing, suspending to grant extra damage. Fragments, this is what you should equip. Thread of Mind, killing suspended enemies grants class ability energy. We will be making a lot of suspended targets, and getting your dodge again very fast will help us use Ensnaring Slam again for more suspended targets. Thread of Wisdom. Killing suspended enemies spawns an orb of power that grants 2.5% super energy. Killing all the suspended targets we will make grant orbs of power and help us get our super and extra buffs like unraveling rounds. Thread of Continuity. Suspend, unravel, and sever effects applied to targets have an increased duration. The debuff generally lasts 50% longer. This is good for our build and for the exotic weapon that can suspend a lot of targets, and now for longer we can defeat them with haste. Thread of Generation. Dealing damage grants grenade ability energy. We definitely need our grenades back a lot to keep our suspending targets. For our exotic armor piece, we'll be using Foetracer. The exotic perk, damaging a powerful combatant or a guardian with an ability grants you a temporary bonus to weapon damage matching your subclass type. They'll start to glow red, and defeating that target with a weapon matching the damage type of your subclass creates an elemental pickup. In this case, tangles will be made after each debuff kill. Technically, this is already what happens even without Foetracer, but giving us a weapon damage bonus on our bow helps us defeat suspended targets and getting rid of the beefier enemies faster. If this seems not up your alley, I want to hear from you guys what will be a better exotic for this build. So stay tuned to hear the rest and tell me what exotic I should switch up for and down in the comments. For the exotic weapon, we are using the new bow from the Star-Crossed exotic mission, WishKeeper. When finishing it for the first time, we'll be granted the bow and the shape pattern. It will come with the perk Enduring Snare Refit, which means that the Snare Weaver traps last on. To lay down the trap, you need 5 charges. Shoot an enemy for precision damage for 1 charge, kill any enemy with a precision for 2. Once you have all 5 charges, shoot from the hip, no ADS, and you'll lay down a pattern pentagon where the enemy will walk on it and will become suspended. You can even shoot the enemy to automatically suspend them. I personally use the second catalyst form of the bow that grants multi-threaded snare refit, where the trap will suspend more targets, laying down more lines in the pentagon pattern. To get the second catalyst, you need to talk to Marasov, get the Constellation lock quest, head over to the Dreaming City, and go to the Spine of Keres. From there, look where I'm going on the screen, and once you're there, activate the beam, shoot the stars with the bow, and then finish the star-crossed mission again, but on Legend difficulty. I honestly recommend hopping on Fireteam Finder and getting it out of the way. If you're scared of interactions like me, don't worry. Literally all of them don't talk with their mic. Beyond the exotic weapon, I run Inhibited Kindness, the new special ammo rocket sidearm from the new dungeon, Warlord's Ruin. I don't have a god roll yet, but it can roll in the first column, Beacon Rounds, Impulsive Amplifier, and Enlightened Action. And then the second column, Volt Shot. This is more for the barrier champions and literally one-shots the barrier. Helps getting rid of them very fast. I also have one god roll, Crux Termination 4 with Slide Shot and Surrounded. Slide Shot is to reload your rocket launcher by sliding and temporarily boosts the range and stability. And Surrounded gives you a bonus damage when 3 or more enemies are in close proximity. This is a great DPS rocket, but you can also run Bipod and Clown Cartridge on it. Get this from Whirlpool drops. Going into armor mods, I would say focus your stats on Discipline and Resilience. Strength is unnecessary since you can regain your dart from dodges, and no need for Intellect because we'll be getting a lot of orbs power super fast with these mods. For Helmet, Harmonic Siphon. Rapid Strand Final Blows creates orbs of power. Hands-On increases super energy gains from melee kills. Ashes to Acids increases super energy gains from grenade kills. These mods are for getting your super faster and orbs of power. For arms, Bolstering Detonation grants 12% of class ability energy upon dealing grenade ability damage. Impact Induction grants 12% of grenade ability energy upon dealing powered melee damage. Focusing Strike grants 12% of class ability energy upon dealing powered melee damage. These mods are to grant our abilities back faster by casting them and dealing damage. For Chest, one Charged Up mod increases the maximum number of armor charge stacks on you from 3 to 4, and any damage resistant mods. For Legs though, Strand Surge increases strand weapon damage by 10% while you have an active armor charge. Stacks on stacks, picking up an orb of power grants you one additional stack of armor charge. To hold more armor charges gives us an extra 15 seconds of strand extra damage, and that's because on our hood, we'll equip Time Dilation. Extends armor charge decay time to 15 seconds instead of 10. Equipped Bomber. Class ability usage grants 12% of grenade energy. We definitely want our grenades back ASAP. And equip Powerful Attraction. Our class ability usage, including your Ensnaring Slam, will collect orbs of power within 12.5 meters. Moving into the seasonal mods, on the screen are all of them, but in further extent, I'll be explaining each one. For the first column, you have a choice of using your bow for barriers or unstoppables. Unraveling rounds are granted with an orb of power with the seasonal perk Unraveling Orbs. So you can use your bow for that and equip Unstoppable Hand Cannon, or choose Unstoppable Bows, and that will make it so that you cannot use your bow for barriers anymore, but instead receive the Unstoppable Shot. While ADSing, you'll be able to stun Unstoppables. Personally, I use my bow for Unstoppables just in case I can't suspend them, but in other times I do use it for barrier champions. We have 2 Shackles, Ensnaring Slam, and Snare Weaver Trap, so suspending them is not going to be a problem. But we do have the barrier sidearm that will one-shot the barrier, and you can choose whatever overload mod in the first column, since we'll be equipping overload rockets in the fourth column. In the second column, equipped Origin Perk Specialization 1. Enhances the effects of origin traits, and weapons with them are always overcharged. In most PvE situations, there will be an overcharged modifier, where certain weapons will receive a 25% extra damage. With this perk, all traits with Sundering, Nanomunitions, and Nanotech Tracer Rockets origin traits will always be overcharged regardless of the specific modifier. This will benefit our rocket sidearm that has Sundering. Then equipped From Whence You Came. Increases ability damage by 5% against Scorn and Taken combatants. The amount of ability damage you'll be dealing against the most frequent enemy type this season helps a lot. In the third column, equip Torch grants 5% increased weapon damage against enemies that are affected by Strand or Stasis debuffs while you're Radiant. You'll be severing and suspending targets a lot with this build, so if someone can provide you Radiant, then 5% damage increase can really help. Equip Wished into Being while your super is nearly fully charged. Ability Final Blow, spawn orbs of power. This is good to have overall since the rest of the perks have to do with solar supers and getting radiance. In the fourth column, equip Overload Rockets for overloads. Equip Unraveling Orbs, picking an Orb of Power. Grants Unraveling Rounds for Strand weapons for 7 seconds. This is crazy good for any Strand weapon or Strand build. Equip Dragon's Bite. Breaking a combatant's shield with a Strand or Stasis weapon has a chance to suspend or freeze the combatant. Wearing seasonal armor improves the chances of the perk triggering. With this season being this long and rolling for high stats on armor with ghost stat rolls, you can replace your current armor and reach double or triple 100s for your stats. In the fifth column, Horde Shuttle. Dealing sufficient weapon damage to an unraveled target spawns a threadling depending on an enemy rank. You have to deal more damage for higher ranks to spawn it, but it's really good because we'll be killing enemies with WishKeeper and you'll start to spawn threadlings just shooting down enemies after an orb pickup. For the last mod, equip Argent Ordnance. Firing a rocket launcher consumes 1 stack of armor charge to grant Godslayer Warheads buff for 4.5 seconds. Godslayer Warheads grant 15% increased rocket damage, and it stacks with every buff and increases reload speed. Does not consume additional armor charge stacks while the buff is active. You've heard me talk about the mods, the build in depth, and have seen gameplay of this build in the background of this video. I hope this video was helpful in getting you a very insane Hunter Strand build with the new Strand bow, WishKeeper. It would mean a lot if you could subscribe and leave a comment on how I can improve this build and which subclass I should do next. I again want to thank everyone who stayed to watch till the end. I also want to thank everyone for 300 subscribers off of my last build video. It was a Hunter Solar build using Shards of Galanor and Sunshot. If you're interested in that, the link is down below. That will be it for this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.